The following material was contributed by Bobby Fulcher, a folklorist working for the Tennessee Division of Parks and Recreation. These are recordings of D and Delta Hicks that Bobby made during July 1977 and October 27, 1978.
There was a rich old merchant near London he did dwell.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
There was a rich old merchant near London he did dwell. He had one only daughter, dear, the truth to you I'll tell. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Sweetheart, she had a plenty for to court her day and night. But upon young Jack the sailor boy, oh, she placed her own dear life. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Then her father said, I've money, oh, and plenty for to pay. Oh, to press young Jack to sailor boys in the wars of Tennessee. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Then Jack he went a sail, in with trouble on his mind, leaving his home and country and his darling girl behind. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O.
Dressed herself in. She dressed herself.
She dressed herself in iris and away to the war did go, for to bargain with some officer to buy her herd away. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Now your waist it is too slender, your fingers are too small, your cheeks are too rosy red, on the face a cannonball. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Now I know my waist is slender, my fingers are quite small, but it'll never change my countenance, so to face a cannonball. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Their drums begin to beat, oh, and the drums begin to play, and the war began its music, oh, pretty party marched away. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Then when that battle was over, she made a circle round, and among the dead and wounded, oh, her own true lover found. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. She picked him up all in her arms and carried him down to town, and quickly sent for a doctor, oh, to come and dress his wounds. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. And when his eyes were open, it was to his surprise to see his true love bent over him with tears in her eyes. Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O. Then this couple, they got married, they did so well agree, oh, they lived in peace and plenty, oh, and why couldn't we? Oh, lil-lil-I-O, oh, lil-lil-I-O.
Was this one of your father's tunes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now there's one verse in there you sang for me before. You left out this time. It was, and now before you go on board the ship, what is that verse? Your name I wish to know. Would you sing over that verse?
Now Now before you go on board the ship, your name I'd wish to know. She smiled all in her countenance, said you might call me James Monroe. Oh, L-L-L-I-O, oh, L-L-L-I-O.
Very good. Okay, you just go ahead and say what it is and start in on it.
I'm going to try to sing the Bill Stables. Oh, my name is Bill Stables, boys. I've came from Buffalo Town. For 9 long years or better now, I've rambled this wide world around. I've had my ups and downs, brave boys, better days that I have saw. But I never knew what misery were till I came to Arkansas. It is in the year 79, in the merry month of June, when I landed in Van Bruin, boys, one Saturday afternoon. I met a living skeleton with a long and tailored jaw. Is a photograph of all the boys in the state of Arkansas. Then I hired to that great big herp, Jesse Hurls was his name. I followed that great big herp up to his dwelling place, where poverty and misery both stared me in the face. His bread it was corn dodger pills, and his beef I couldn't chaw. He charged me 50 cents a meal in the state of Arkansas. Then next morning when I rose, I had to catch some early train. He said, kind mister, you'd better stay with me. I've got land here to drain. I'll pay you 40 cents a rod for your board and marsh and all. And you see, you'll be a different old man when you leave Arkansas. Then I hired to that great big herp, Jesse Hurls was his name. He was 6 foot and 7 inches, boys, and as slim as any crane. His hair hung down in rat-tail curls all around his tailored jaw. Here's a photograph of all the boys in the state of Arkansas. He fed me on corn dodger pills, oh, as hard as any rock, till my teeth began to loosen, oh, and my knees began to knock. I got so thin on sassafras, I could have hid behind a straw. And you see, I was a different man when I left old Arkansas. Now the very day I left the place, so it wrecks my memory still. I shook the boots clean off of my feet with one of the blasted chills. I went down to a nice saloon and a call for whiskey roll, and I got as drunk as any old fool when I left Arkansas. The very day I left the farewell to old Jesse Hurls, also his loving wife. For I'll never now forget her through the days of my born life. For she threw her arms around my neck, oh, and she bit me on the jaw. She said, Willie, dear, remember me when you leave old Arkansas.
Farewell to the old swamp.
Farewell to the old swamp Indians, its cane breaks and its chills. Likewise the sage and sassafras tea, and the old corn dodger pills. For if I ever see that place again, I'm going to reach to you, my paw, unless it's through a telescope from here to Arkansas.
Okay. Very good.
Mercy found has gone to her nest, while the old beast is laid down now to rest. Oh, the beast that roams over these plains, on those islands that is away out on the sea. But they're so all unacquainted with man that their tameness seems shocking to me. That goes in it.
That's in there. And that's part of the exile of...
Yeah, I guess I always... I forget what Pat did call it. No, I don't believe he called it what Joe called it, but I guess probably it was too.
Okay. Go ahead, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and say what it is, dear.
I dreamt last night of my true love. All in my arms I had her. But when I awoke and it was not true, no man on earth were madder. Then I went unto her uncle's house, in parting of my lover. Oh, they answered me, she is not here, which made my heart bend to smother. But my lover, hearing my voice sound, she called me from her window, saying, love, I vow that I would be with you. But the locks and bolts, they do hinder. Then I stood there for a minute or two, and I drew my kind like temper. Oh, my passion flew, and my sword I drew. I swore to the room I would enter. Then I made the doors and pieces fly. Oh, the locks and bolts, they did shatter. And that pretty little girl that I loved so well, so quickly I made at her. Oh, her uncle and some other men, so quickly they did follow. They swore before they would part from her, in my heart's blood they would wallow. Then the blood was sprinkled on every side, but I got my love from among them, who's a brave boy, so as to love such girl, may fight and overcome them.
See, what was that verse right at the first? You told me it was in there, but you left it out about her hair, like strands of gold.
Hung all around my pillow, yeah, that's in there, but that didn't come to me now. Just, no, I can't remember how it went.
But that's right there after the first one.
Now then, her yellow hair like strings of gold hung all around my pillow. And her name, they called her the Rainbow Willow. Her yellow hair like strings of gold hung all around my pillow. That pretty little girl that I loved so well, I called her the Rainbow Willow. If I can think of it now. One morning in May, I spied a couple winding their way. One was a lady as fair as could be, and the t'other was a soldier, oh, a brave lad was he. Said the lady to the soldier, where are we going? Down through the orchard, on down by the spring. Down through the orchard, right on down to the spring, for to hear, see the water gliding, hear the nightingale sing. Oh, they had not been there more than an hour or two, when out of his knapsack, oh, a violin he drew. He tuned his fiddle to one cling of a string, and he played a sweet message that made the hills ring. He played the water gliding, hear the nightingale sing. Oh, pretty soldier, oh, will you marry me? Oh, no, fair maiden, that never can be. For I've a wife in old England, and little children twice three. One woman in this army, two would be one too many for me. I'm going back to old England for to tarry 1 year, and my drinks will be of whiskey and the best of stale beer. But if ever I return again, it will be in the spring, for to see the water gliding, hear the nightingale sing.
Now, who did you hear singing that song?
I learned that from my dad. Yes, sir.
He used to sing locks and bowls also?
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, you just tell what it is.
This is a song about a lover aiming to go hunting with her girl's brothers. So early, then late next morning, away hunting with them. Now he must go. So they hunted o'er the land and valley, through the woods where they did not know. They hunted o'er those lofty valleys, and to where no people will ne'er did go. Oh, by these low and deceitful brilliance, her own true lover they killed and thrown. And then that night, as she was sleeping, the ghost of her love appeared unto his ear. Oh, she was all in the tears of weeping. He was gored all over in the briny blood. And so early then, the next morning, away hunting for her true love did go. Oh, she hunted o'er strange lands and valleys, and through the woods where she did not know. She hunted o'er those lofty valleys, into where no people ne'er did go. And by these low and deceitful brilliance, her own true lover they had killed and thrown. Then that night when she returned, Oh, her brothers asked her where she'd been. She said, go away from here. You deceitful Miriam, for one and both you must be hung.
Okay, indeed. You said there was a verse in the front of it that, what was that verse about?
It was something about where our brothers had planned to kill him.
They were planning.
Yeah.
And did the song go on after?
Yeah, it goes on. There's 2 more verses to it, I believe. There's a verse there about where she found him, and she'd hugged him in her arms and said, oh, what a bosom friend of mine.
Do you remember any more of it?
No, I can't get it. You're such a bosom friend of mine. I was in her arms. She got him, and she said, oh, such a bosom friend of mine. When she found where he'd been killed. And, yeah.
You remember how the story ended?
No, the 2 last verses, I can't recall them, Bobby, at all.
Okay. That was one you learned from your father.
Yeah. Oh, I'll sing you a song, it ain't very long, about a little boy that had been to his corn. But the reason why that I couldn't tell, for this young man, he was always well. He planted his corn in the month of June, and in July got about knee high. Oh, and in September there came a frost, and all that young man's corn was lost. And he went down to his neighbor's door, to where he'd been several times before. What did you say?
I don't have a line.
There's one place in there where the weeds and grass got so hot. He went
to his fence and he peeped over in. The weeds in the bushes struck him up to his chin. Oh, the weeds and bushes grew so high that it oftentimes caused this young man to cry. And he went down to his neighbor's door, to where he'd been several times before.
Yeah, young man, if you hold your corn.
I forgot this.
Yeah, something else comes in there, though, ain't it? Shoveling clouds, so he's better than a middle just now.
He was going to ask the girl about marrying.
Yeah.
Remember exactly what?
Yeah, he was going to ask the old woman about marrying the girl. And she...
There's a hole in the spade and a shovel in the plow.
Yeah. A hole in the shovel and the spade and plow would suit you better than a widow just now. That's because he hadn't worked his corn. And
Did Was there something in back there about, I'm going to go see that widder now, or,
I don't remember, Bobby.
go to town and get you a widder, and I hope that you don't get her or anything like
Oh,
that?
yeah, that goes in it. Yeah.
You don't remember exactly.
No, I don't. But I know that's in it. That's where you called over there. That's in it.
How did you figure out that it went D?
Yeah, you called it over there again, like you.
Go to town and get you with her, and I hope to heaven that you don't get her or something like that.
I'll go to town to get me a mother, and I hope to my soul that you do not get her for a hoe and a shovel and a hoe and a shovel and a spade and a plow and a suit you better than a winter just now. I'm going by you paper or pens, and that's the way our love begins. If you will marry me, oh me, if you will marry me. You go buy me a paper or pens. If that's the way our love begins, and I'll not marry you, oh you, and I'll not marry you. Then I'll go and buy you a dress of red, all tipped off with a golden thread. You will marry me, oh me, if you will marry me. If you can go buy me a dress of red, all tipped off with a golden thread, and I'll not marry you, oh you, and I'll not marry you. Then I'll go and buy you a dress of green to make you look just like a queen. If you will marry me, oh me, if you will marry me. Then you can buy me a dress of green to make me look just like a queen, and I'll not marry you, oh you, and I'll not marry you. Then I'll go and buy you a pretty fine glove with the outside gold and the inside love. If you will marry me, oh me, if you will marry me. If you go and buy me a pretty fine glove with the outside gold and the inside love, then I will marry you, oh you, and I will marry you.
Where did you learn that song, Pete?
I learned that from my dad, Hicks.
Elsie, did you ever hear your mother sing that one?
Yeah.
Your mother sang it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was same song.
My mom probably can sing a heap better than I could. I never done no good job at it.
Only called Little On Me Why, the name of it. I've heard my brother and my husband sing it, Herbert Winningham and D. Hicks. I'll tell you a story about Little On Me Why, how she got eluded by John Lewis's lies. He promised her money and other fine things if she'd only meet him at Adamsley Springs. Oh, money, it's always the case. We'll go and get married, it'll be no disgrace. She jumped up behind him and away they did ride. They came to the waters that is deep, dark, and wide. Little on me, I'll tell you my mind. My mind is to drown you and leave you behind. He took her from behind him and plunged her in the deep, and there in the waters little on me lie asleep. Is that the way it went? Yeah, that's all of it. It is.
Little boy went a fishing.
Yeah. Little boy went a fishing, it's on one Sunday morn. He saw little on me a-comin' in a storm. He threw his hook around her and drew her to the bank. Her clothes all wet upon her, he laid her on a plank. He sent for John Lewis to come to this place. He propped her up before him so he could see her face. John Lewis, my name I'll never deny. I drowned little homie and I'll never reach the sky. They dressed little homie and they took her to her grave. They handcuffed John Lewis and took him to jail. That's it. I did get over it all. What did that old apple hit? Them blame things just comes down. Hit a tape or something over there.
That suitcase.
It did. Just got thumped. I heard it go.
Tell about what you remember of on that song of the good old man and his wife, and they ask him about. He comes home and he asks his wife what's for supper. And what all do you remember of that song?
And the way Mama used to tell it and used to sing it, she knowed it. She sung it. And I used to know the tune to it, but I forgot it now. But they was in a racket, a fussing. And he took off, went to the field or out somewhere wherever he was going. And she was mad and all get out. And she decided she'd just fixing some eggs for supper and put them in the hog trough. And to poison him if she could. And she didn't want to just out openly, but she thought to get him in there to mine. What Mama told us in the tale, the story. And so he went off and stayed his stay out and come back and said, "You're here, good old woman." She said, "Yes, I'm here, my good old man." And he said, "What are we going to have for supper?" And he called me his lamb. And she said, "We'll have eggs for supper, my good old man." And he said, "Where are you going to serve them, my good old lamb?" And she said, "In the hog's trough, my good old man." And he said, "They'll poison us, my good old lady." He called me his lamb. And she said, "No, they'll not poison us." And then it went on, and I reckon they eat them. I've tried to anyhow. But the old man got poisoned and died, or something killed him. And she buried him in the chimney corner. And said she was sitting there one night knitting, and she heard something just scratching and clawing and raking in the corner of the chimney. And she said, "What's that raking, scratching in my chimney corner?" He said, "It's your good old man." And then he called me his lamb. And
Young Johnny sailed from London, young Johnny sailed to shore. Young Johnny sailed to Dublin, where he'd oft-times been before. What luck, young Johnny, oh, what luck on sea. Last night my daughter Polly, she lie dreaming of thee. Oh, what luck, said Johnny, it was very poor, said he. I lost my ship and cargo all on the raging sea. Go bring your daughter Polly down and set her on my knee. I'll hug her and kiss her and married we will be. My daughter Polly's absent has been all this week or more. And besides, if she were here, John, she'd kick you out of doors. Young Johnny felt drowsy and hung down his head. He called for a candle to light himself to bed. Our bed is full of strangers and has been all this week. And besides, you've got no money and your lodgings you cannot seek. But he stepped to the landlord a-setting in the hall, saying, "What is the bill, sir? I'm ready for the call. 3 shillings for the young folks and 40 for the old." He drew out his hands both plumb full of gold. Oh, the sight of that money made this old woman rule. She said, "My daughter Polly's absent, but she'll soon return to you." So down run pretty Polly with a smile upon her face. She hugged him and kissed him and kindly did embrace, saying, "You're welcome home, young Johnny, oh, you're welcome home from sea. Oh, your big bed, it lies empty now, a-waiting for thee. Oh, before I'd lie in the big bed now, I'd lie out in the streets. For if I'd had no money, see, my lodgings I couldn't seek. But now I've plenty of money, and I'll make these taverns hurl with a bottle of good brandy and on my knee a girl."
that's good, D. Now, where did you learn that song?
I learned from my dad.
Would you mind telling over in your own words what the story of that song is about?
Well, it's I guess just a sailor's story about where he had left his sweetheart and went to the sea and then sailing back is what I would think it was.
What happened?
And when he come back there and didn't have no money, the old man didn't want him to marry his daughter. And then whenever he pulled out his hands, both thumb full of gold, the old woman, she couldn't stand it. She had to tell him certain that that daughter was there.
Do you think that something like that might have really happened?
Yeah, it could have. It could have happened.
Well, let's see. You know several other songs. You remembered a bunch of other songs, D, that down in Nashville, you and Delta did both. Now I need to record. Maybe you could sing that one about Hero and Nero, or Hero and Tiro.
Yeah, that old fox, Jason.
Yeah.
Hand me a cup of water, man.
Did your dad fox hunt very much?
Yeah, he did. All his life, practically. Till he got too old.
Did he teach you much about hunting?
Yeah, he taught me a lot about it. I commenced hunting with him whenever I was about 10 years old. You just look at that.
Did you kill a lot of foxes?
No, I never killed too many when I was right little. But I watched him kill them and watch for he get to watch for him, you know, when the hounds was running them, till I learned where to get. And then after I got grown, then I went to killing foxes myself. I got me some hounds of my own. I'd fox hunt every day, and then a lot of times fox hunt or possum and polecat hunt till midnight of the night.
What was fox selling for?
They'd sell about $1.50.
You started down?
Yeah.
What about polecat?
They'd sell them from, now a black polecat would sell 2.50, and the others would on down to about 75 cents for what they call a whiting.
What about a possum hide?
Possum hide, the main big number ones they call them, was $1.25, and come on down to about 35 cents.
Where did you sell your hides?
Well, I sold them just around and about. Some to a fellow by the name of Grant Norman, and some to Bob Brooks, and some to Jake Hull and Cordell Hull.
Did they come through the country?
Yeah, they'd come through to picking them up.
You wouldn't have to kill
No, I hardly ever had to carry one.
They just come by?
Yeah, they'd come by and pick them up.
Yeah. Where did you hear this song about these fox hounds?
I heard my dad singing.
Did you hear anyone else sing?
I don't believe I ever have.
Is it one that your dad learned from someone, or did
Yeah, I guess he learned from his dad. His dad was a fox hunter and dealed in hounds and.
Well, maybe you can try singing that.
Zero, tiptoeing sounder of all the dogs that I possess. Oh, rock and roll, they are the best. But Counter is my good old dog, forevermore I know. Come, Uncle Joe, and let's go home. Now we'll leave this old red fox alone. For our pop is going to hunting in the morning. He'll put his hounds upon the track. They'll run it off and bring it back. They'll run it from old England to old Kentucky, I know. Now put your ear upon the ground, but Lord, just listen at my lead hound. He's running from England to old Kentucky, I know. Then I put my horn up to my mouth, and I blew that wind both north and south. But it seemed like my old hound couldn't hear me. Then I blew my horn so loud, you could have heard it thunder in the cloud. But I could still hear my old hound running, ooh, 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 ooh.
I think that tells pretty well the way the old fox races used to be.
I used to love to hear them awful good, do yet.
What do you do when you go out on a fox hunt? How do you do it?
Well, if I've got real good trained hounds, I just turn them loose and take off through the woods some way or another, and then let them do the rest of it. They'll hit a trail and trail one up and jump it. They lay out on top of the ground, the fox does, just like a dog will laying. And the hounds trails them up, and when it gets so close to them, the old fox rises and takes off, and then you hear a hot race.
You like to listen to them race?
Oh, do they hear them run the steed?
Well, would the dogs running back by you? Or?
Yeah, a lot of times. Sometimes, now, back when I used to be able to hunt, I'd go sometimes 15 or 20 miles in a fox race, a heading perm, before I'd ever get to kill it.
How do you dogs hold the fox?
How do they hold him? You mean after I would kill it, or?
Do they run it past you for you to shoot it? Or?
Oh, yeah, they run to past me. Yeah, I'll get to a gap after you learn how to fox hunt. If they're coming up a bluff or coming down, they generally go down the first gap they come to. If you can get there, you can kill it. And if they're coming up, they'll come up the first gap.
What kind of a gun do you fox hunt with?
I use a shotgun. And mostly 12 gauge with number 4 shot.
How did your dad fox hunt? What did he used to kill?
He killed him with a shotgun too, and with number 4 shot.
Was it pretty expensive to buy shotgun shells?
Oh no, you get a whole box, 25 cents.
What kind of shells were they? What did they have a brand name?
Yeah, they was some of them Peters shells and some Winchester. That's about the only 2 brands they had back then.
And what about your granddad? How do you suppose he hunted with a shotgun?
No, I think on his last he did, but at the first he used a hog rifle.
Had to be an awful good shot.
Yeah, they used to be awful good shots.
Did you ever use a hog rifle in?
I know, I never shot one in my life.
I know Delta's used one. She just grew up with one.
We had to bring.
Now, I used to be awful good with a rifle, 22 rifle. I've killed foxes running with them, and rabbits are running with a 22 rifle.
Have you had a lot of foxhounds in your life?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't even remember how many I've had, Bobby.
What are the names of some of them that you used on?
Well, I had them named old Kenner and Trailer and Nigger and Coley and Spring and Queen and Jack and Tip. And just a lot more that I can't think of. And I've had a lot of them that I had named the same names that I'd had the others named, you know.
You think they knew their name?
Oh, yeah, just as soon as you call them a few times.
How do you call your dogs?
I can't call them now, Bobby.
How did you go about doing it?
I used to whistle for 'em, call 'em that way, and then hoot like blowing in a horn. I'd call 'em when I was like calling in a horn, you know. I'd go hoot, 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 hoot. But I used to be, I could call that way till they could hear me a mile.
Did you ever blow down your gun barrel?
Yeah, I used to blow in my gun barrel.
Did you ever have any dogs that snake bit or anything like that?
Yeah, I've had 3 in time. Got snake bit and died.
Maybe one of them died.
Yeah. I've had 2 or 3 more that got bit, but they didn't die.
You ever do anything for them if they get snake bit?
Yeah, I doctored them, give them sweet milk, and put sparks of turpentine on the place where the snake had bit, and sometimes coal oil.
Well, let me see. There's a big list of songs I left it in Nashville I need you to sing. But we might be able to think of some. Have you thought of any of your father's other songs? You said you thought of mine one day.
Yeah, I did, but Bobby, I can't think of them right now. I was just wondering if I could ever get back onto them.
Well, I hope you can. How about, how does old Rhinerdine start out?
That's another one's hard for me to sing, I know. One evening as I rambled 3 mile below Primroyal, ooh, I met a farmer's daughter there all on the mountain high. Said I, you pretty fair maid, your beauty shines so clear, ooh, all on the dreadful mountain, now I'm glad to meet you here. She said, young man, be civilized, and my company forsake. Ooh, for really, in my opinion, now then I think you are a rake. And if my parents, they should know, my life they would destroy. Ooh, for keeping of your company all on the mountain high. He said, I'm not no rake, though I'm brought up in decent train. And I'm looking out for counting, it's all in the judge's name. Though your beauty has ensnared me, till I couldn't you pass by. And oh, with my gun I'll guard you, safe all on the mountain high. This pretty little young thing, she then fell into a maze. Oh, her eyes as bright as ambergris, and upon me she did gaze. Her rosy cheeks, her sparkling eyes, soon lost their former dye. Oh, and then she fell into my arms all on the mountain high. I had not kissed her more than once or twice, till she came to again. Oh, she mighty slighted asking me, saying, kind sir, what is your name? I said, go down to yonder forest, my castle there you will find. Oh, it's wrote up in that history, that my name is Rhinerdine. But he said, my pretty little young thing, now don't let your parents know. Oh, for if you do, it'll ruin my proven fatal overthrow. But when you come to hunt for me, perhaps you won't me find. Oh, go knock all at my castle door and call for Rhinerdine.
Is that all of that, dude?
Yeah, that's all of it.
Where did you learn that song?
I learned that from my dad.
Now, would you mind telling me in your own words what the story of that song was?
I don't know, Bobby, just for certain. You see, he was a stranger. Just traveling through and happened to meet her there.
Where did he meet her? Near her home?
On that mountain. Pretty close to her home, of course it was.
And then what happened?
He talked about her being pretty, and she told him to be civilized in her company for sake. He didn't want to keep company with him being a stranger. Yeah, he talked to us a kind, now then he got forget about that, didn't he?
But then what did it mean when he said, you'll find in the history books my name is Ride or Die?
No, I don't know.
He had a castle?
Yeah, he had a castle somewhere.
Was he a rich man or a witch man or anything like that?
I guess he was a rich man.
He must have been something other for the...
He was looking out for business in the judge's name.
And he sort of left this girl or kind of left her behind or...
Oh, well, I don't know, Bobby, whether it never did tell there. It wound up before he told what they done for certain.
So you don't know whether he really liked the girl?
No. No, of course he liked her a little, liked her look.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he met her there, but that, I guess, was the first time probably he had ever seen her.
He must have been expecting her to follow him, saying that if Joe takes off that crop on that night, he takes on the other. God.
Now, do you want Delty to sing one?
Yeah.
You're doing better than I can do.
I ain't doing too good.
You're doing real fine. You know, I just thought of one day that you sang when you were kids about boys with their hats all torn up and their socks dirty and all that. I can't remember. It's about Texas boys or something.
When you go courting, guess what the wear, the hunting shirt, old pitching tie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think we've got room on this tape for that.
I don't know whether to make it or not. When they go a-courting, guess what they wear? Their old leather hunting shirt, all pitch and tie. Oh, the coonskin caps with the tails are hanging down, and the old dirty socks that the more they went around. Oh, and the old dirty socks that the more they went around. And when they go in, oh, they set them a chair. Oh, the first word to say, well, my daddy's killed a deer. The next word to say, oh, Mrs. Fly around, and the girls thinking Johnny Cake is almost brown. Oh, girls thinking Johnny Cake is almost brown. Now they have an old potty cow and the milker in the gourd. Oh, they set it in the corner and they cover it with a board. Some gets a little and some gets none. Oh, girls thinking Johnny Cake is almost done. Oh, girls thinking Johnny Cake is almost done. Now the ranch up in the duck pond, the wash up in the duck pond, the ranch in the puddle, and the drop on the far stick and arm with a shovel, and the rake back the ashes and then it they throw. All at the coal, this is dough boys dough.
Where did you learn that song?
I learned that from my dad.
Is that all of it that you sang?
Yeah.
I think that's about fellas from around here.
Yeah, I guess it was. Probably. Of course it was. Of course, that was handed down to him now from his dad.
Who do you think made up a song like that?
I don't know, Bobby.
Have you ever made up any?
No, I ain't never made up any.
Have you ever made up a band with him? Seemed like you started to play with him.
Yeah, I played one I called the Deep Snow Blues.
Did you make it up?
Yeah, I was the first one ever I heard play it. I just made it up, got the playing down there, and got it fitted together pretty good. Did I play it for you?
I think you might have started it. I'm going to have to get you to play that in a minute. I will get the banjo.
Bobby ain't played it in a long old time. I was just thinking that if I hadn't played it for you, it'd been years since I played it.
What caused you to make that song?
I don't know. There was a deep snow on.
Give it the blues?
Yeah, or something, and I just got to fooling with the banjo and happened to get off on that, and I just named it the Deep Snow Blues.
When did you first hear of a tune called The Blues?
Bobby, I really don't know.
Did your dad ever sing any? Or was it about the blues?
No, not that I remember.
What about the Deep Ellum Blues?
Now, Pap, he never did sing that. Now, he sung it a little, too, but he sung it entirely different to what that Deep Ellum Blues, you know, it's on the record somewhere.
Is that where he learned it, do you think?
I know he never did learn none off the records, Pap didn't.
Where do you think the blues came from?
Bobby, I don't know. Now, that Lost Train Blues is about the first one that I ever heard. Yeah, I used to play it on the harp.
Think you play it on the harp still?
It's kind if my breath didn't stop me.
I've got a harp out in the car. Maybe we ought to give that a try.
Well, Bobby, that's a hard thing to do if you're short breath. It's to use them harps.
Did your father ever play a harp?
No, he never did learn to play them.
Do you think the harp is a very old instrument?
Yeah, they are.
Did
Yeah.
the old pioneers play it?
Yeah, I know they did.
Did you used to buy them close by here?
Yeah, I used to buy them at Jamestown, at over at Burble, at Armithwaite, Ballad.
How much did a harp cost?
They cost 50 cents back then. Them Honors, the best kind there was.
Yeah. What other brands were there?
Oh, there's two other brands. I can't think, Bobby. I can't think what the other brands was, but there's two other brands I know.
Were they expensive as a home?
No, there wasn't neither harp it was neither.
Were there any old men when you were a young fella? Were there any old men that played the harp?
Charlie Murray. Yeah. He was up pretty close to Dad's age.
Where did he learn to play?
I don't know where he learned to play, but he is a good one.
Did you ever see an real old harp?
Yeah, now Charlie Murray used to have one. Yeah, he was old. Now, he had one that they called a double note.
What was it like?
Well, it was sort of like the others, only it had two notes on, a bunch of notes on each side of it, you know. His some thicker.
Made it sound different?
Yeah, it sounded a little different.
Is that all that he would play on?